Hey guys, welcome back to my BAMF 2 build log. This is part 2 of the build, and to get things started, I'm going to cut all the slots and openings on the fuselage to prepare it for the gear installation. So I'm going to start off by drilling a slot with a burr bit for the elevator control horn. It basically goes from where the pylon meets the boom to around 2 mm from where the elevator sits. After I clean up the slot with files, I spray it with alcohol and wipe it all clean. I put a small piece of masking tape on the pushrod fairings on both sides of the fuselage, then proceed to mark the pushrod exit slot. The slot sits 9.5 to 10 mm from the wing saddle. Once I'm done one side, I repeat it on the other side, making sure that the two sides are as symmetrical as possible. I use a pointy burr bit on the Dremel to start the opening as it's more accurate and the shape allows it to penetrate the carbon easier. I'm not trying to cut the slot to its final size right now, it's just to mill out the center line. I repeat this on the other side. Since the white plastic sleeve that will be glued in the opening later is 2 mm in diameter, I switched to a 2 mm straight burr bit to cut the final slot. First, poke through the slot with the bit, and then let the existing cut guide the bit along its length, widening it to 2 mm wide. I clean up the cut with a file, then test fit it with a small piece of the white tubing. This side fits, so let's try the other side as well. Now both sides fit well, so spray the area with rubbing alcohol and wipe it all clean. Next, we'll need to repeat this process on the front pushrod fairing, so let's get them taped up. Next, I measure out where I'll cut the opening. It's 3 mm from both the servo tray and the fairing edge. If you like this video, please remember to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to our channel, and hit the notification bell icon. This lets YouTube know that people enjoy this video so they can make it more visible to others who also like RC gliders. This really helps our channel grow. Thank you. Once both sides are marked, I use the pointy burr bit again to create the opening. I give it a test fit and expand the opening slightly so the tube can fit through without being at an angle to the fuselage. So after that's done, the opening is no longer a hole but a very short slot. And when that's done on this side, we'll repeat the process on the other side as well. With the pushrod openings done for now, I remove the tape and clean up the area. Next, I mask the same area again, but this time we'll be cutting the openings for the pull string wires to go through. I begin by marking out where the fuselage starts to curve into the pushrod fairing, then I mark a spot 1 mm away from the servo tray and 1 mm away from the edge of the curve. Repeat on the other side. I double check the dimensions before cutting the opening and make any adjustments necessary. Again, using the pointy burr bit, I create a small opening and widen it lengthwise for the wire to pass through later. As usual, once it's done on the first side, just repeat it on the other side as well. After removing the tape, I use a skinny, pointy file to give it a final pass to make sure that the wire can fit through without rubbing the sides. You know the drill, spray and wipe clean. If you're using a small receiver, it'll fit right up in the nose, but since this customer's model will be using a bigger receiver, we're going to cut an opening so that it fits behind the servos. If you're using a small receiver like the FreeSky GR6 or Spectrum AR410, then don't do this step. Begin by marking out the width of the opening to fit the receiver. The top line is offset from the edge of the fuselage by about 1 millimeter, and the bottom line is right at the edge of the servo tray. I double check to verify how the receiver will fit, and then begin cutting the opening with my Dremel. As with all cuts, the first pass is slightly smaller than the final opening. Then I swap to a slightly wider diameter bit to begin expanding this opening. The wider diameter bit prevents me from creating a sharp corner where stress will build up. I remove the tape and do the final pass with the Dremel. Lastly, I clean up the edges with a file. After spraying and wiping it clean, I do one more test fit with the receiver to make sure everything fits properly. With the openings all prepped, I mark the servo positions and scuff up the servo tray with a ball and burr bit so that it has a better bond with the servos. Then I scuff the two front servos. These are the KST X08 ends and they will be used to control the tails via pull string. Spray the tray and servos and wipe it all clean. We're using the arm sword pulleys for the tail servos, so put it on the front servo first. Apply some medium CA to the servos and position it on the fuselage right up against the front opening. The pulley should just clear the fuselage. Get this as close as possible without any rubbing. Put the pulley on the second servo, and because I've been touching the servos and the servo tray, I clean it with alcohol once more before gluing. We just have to repeat the gluing process with it right up against the first servo and with the pulley just clearing the side of the fuselage. Hit it with kicker, then scuff the other two servos to begin installing them for the wing pushrods. Spray with alcohol and wipe clean. Apply medium CA and position the servos up against the servo in front and with the side of the servo flush with the side of the fuselage. Repeat this for the last servo. The servos are all glued, hit them with kicker. Plug the wing servos into the servo tester and have them at center. Put the cross servo arm onto the servos with one of the longer arms pointing down as vertically as possible or slightly biased towards the front. If the longer arm is at too big an angle, rotate the arm 180 degrees and try the other long arm. One of them is bound to be at the correct spot. I mark and cut the arms that are not needed. And since we will be using the second hole to drive the pushrods, I shorten the remaining servo arm as well. Then we just repeat this on the other side. Put on the servo arm screws to secure the arms, then we finish off this part by unplugging the servos from the servo tester. Next, we're going to install the pushrod guides. I find it easier to first feed the pushrod through the front and rear fairings, and then use that to feed the guide tube through. The tube should be just proud of the rear slot, and I like to have the front of the tube 20mm from the servo arm. Mark this and we'll cut it down to length. After cutting, then feeding the tube back into the fuselage and getting it in position, I use thin CA to secure the tube at the rear and front holes. With this side done, let's repeat it on the other side. Next, we're going to support the middle of the guide tube. I'm using a small piece of foam, but you can also use balsa or whatever you have on hand is okay. Trim the support so it fits between the fuselage and the tube without much pressure against the tube, and glue it with thin or medium CA. After that, I move the pushrod around to make sure it's moving smoothly without rubbing from the guide tubes. I'm happy with this, so it's time to do the other side. With the guide tubes glued, it's time to do the pushrods. Bend the rear ends of the pushrods, and the bent sections should be around 4mm long. This is to be hooked onto the wing control horns. With the pushrods in place, hook it up to the wings, then mount the wing onto the fuselage. Using a 13mm spacer, I deflect one of the ailerons up and tape the spacer into place. This will be the max up deflection for the flaperon. I plug in the servo and also set that to its max up position. Carefully mark the pushrod where it meets the second hole on the servo arm. Move the spacer to the other flaperon and repeat this process to mark the pushrod length. With both pushrod lengths marked, remove the wing from the fuselage. Before bending the pushrods, remember, the rear is bent to point out to the wing control horns and the front is bent to point into the servo arm. Position the pliers right up against your mark and bend the wire. Once it's bent, cut off the excess and leave a 4 to 5mm length. Insert it into the servo arm and make sure everything is aligned properly. Then work on the other side. Hook up the pushrods and mount the wing to the fuselage. I check it with my servo tester, then prepare for the tail install. To begin, I mount the stabilizer to the fuselage. Then, without first sanding the boom, I wipe it clean with alcohol. I then insert the fin and align it 90 degrees to the stabilizer. And when I'm sure it's aligned correctly, I glue the fin to the fuselage with thin or super thin CA. And when that's done, remove the wing from the fuselage. Carefully unfurl the coiled pole wire. You'll notice there are two wires here. Make sure you don't get any knots or sharp bends on the wire. Take one of the wires and feed it through the front opening on the left side of the fuselage. Then fish the other end out of the elevator slot. Begin the elevator pigtail by feeding the wire through one of the included crimps. Form a loop and pass it through the crimp again. Make sure you have some excess length and then pass the wire through the crimp a third time. Then I crimp it with a pair of pliers. After it's crimped, I add a drop of CA on both ends of the crimp for peace of mind. Hit it with kicker, then hook the loop onto the elevator control horn. Pull the wire tight from the front, then make a small bend at the end of the wire. The bend makes it easier to feed through the armsor pulleys. I install the pulley back onto the servo and then connect it to my servo tester. Then I add the servo screw, but don't tighten it all the way. Set the servo so it's at the max up position. Pull the wire tight so that the elevator is touching the boom. Then wrap the wire 2 to 3 times around the screw in a clockwise direction. Tighten the screw to hold the wire, then cut off the excess. I return the servo back to neutral, unplug the servo, and remove the stabilizer. I use a piece of tape to secure the elevator wire pigtail so it doesn't fall into the fuselage by accident. Then I mask the boom above the right side of the elevator mount. Using a ruler, I draw a straight line down the boom from the rudder control horn, then mark a section roughly 2 cm long above the tail mount. This is where we're going to cut the slot for the rudder pole wire. I cut the slot with a cutoff wheel and then clean it with a small file. Spray and wipe clean. Take the second wire and feed it through from the front opening to the slot we just created. Connect the rudder servo to the servo tester and set it to neutral. Then thread the wire through the rudder pulley. We're doing things slightly different this time to show an alternate sequence for the rudder. Begin by wrapping the wire around the screw 2 to 3 times clockwise, then tighten the screw to secure the wire. Trim off the excess. Insert the other end of the wire through a crimp, then through the control horn, and loop back through the crimp again. Pull the wire along its length until the rudder is centered, then slide and position the crimp a couple millimeters from the horn. I crimp and secure the tube with a pair of pliers. I add a drop of CA on both ends and hit it with kicker, then trim off the excess. And with that, we're done this BAMF 2 build. Please give it a thumbs up and remember to subscribe to our channel. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.